Hello, I'm Ollie, and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, all of that and some of the most disturbing books ever written, I've got a book haul for you. Okay, I've got 15 books to go through with you today. I've got a few advanced reader copies that have been sent to me by authors and publishers. I've got some independently published stuff. I've got some mass market crime. And I've got some disturbing books that I've picked up recently as well. So I'll start with the crime. So if you've watched my last week's weekly wrap up, I talked about this book, Inner City Hoodlum by Donald Goines, which I absolutely loved. So I'd never even heard of Donald Goines until recently, but picked this up and it was fantastic. A really gritty, gripping kind of inner city crime novel. So I went on to Amazon and bought a bunch more books by Donald Goines, three of which are kind of form a trilogy. So let's do those first. So I might be getting these in the wrong order. But yeah, they're about a character called Kenyatta. So we've got Death List, Kenyatta's Escape, and Kenyatta's Last Hit. So these are all these really lovely US mass market paperback editions. So yeah, really looking forward to those. And then three standalones as well. So Crime Revenge, Street Players, and Black Girl Lost. So those all look fantastic. Hopefully they'll be as good as Inner City Hoodlum. A bit more crime. So I got the second volume of the collected Harlem Cycle by Chester Himes. So this has got The Big Gold Dream, All Shot Up, and The Heat's On in it. So I've now got all 9 books. So there's 3 omnibus volumes, if you like, each with 3 books in. So I had the first and third omnibuses, so I've now got the second one as well. So this was second hand off eBay, but it feels unread. It's in excellent condition. So yeah, I recently read the first one of these, and it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, really looking forward to reading a bit more Chester Himes. In terms of advanced reader copies, so I've got 3 of those to show you. So I've got this one, which I've seen a few people talk about recently. So this is Anybody Home by Michael J. Seidlinger. So this is like a kind of home invasion style horror novel. I get the impression it's a bit like the movie Funny Game, so quite dark and grisly. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. I've got something a bit different from Titan. So this is a Marvel novel, so based on a comic book series or a graphic novel called Original Sin, and it's like a murder mystery set in the Marvel universe. So I thought they offered it to me, and I thought it would be fun to read a murder mystery with Marvel characters in it. It's not very long, so yeah, quite looking forward to giving that a try at some point. And then this is one that was sent to me by the author. So Shark City Harbour by Daryl Pickett, which is a thriller set in Martha's Vineyard in the 70s. So very much, I think, inspired by Jaws. But yeah, it looks like an enjoyable kind of mystery. So yes, looking forward to reading that one as well. Something else independently published. So I have one of Matt Wall's chapbooks. So Panic, which I bought from his Etsy shop. Matt very kindly sent me digital copies of some of his other books as well. So yeah, really looking forward to reading these. It's my first ever chapbook, but I really, really love the kind of homemade format of it. Reminds me of kind of zines and things like that I used to read. So yeah, looking forward to that. Or is it zines? I never know. And then let's do something fairly standard. So a Stephen King book that I haven't read. So I was thinking the other day, there's loads of Stephen King books, well not loads, there are several Stephen King books that I haven't read. So I've read most of his books, but not all of them. So I figured it would be an interesting project to try and read all the ones that I haven't read. And this is one of those. It didn't get great reviews, I seem to remember when it came out. I think some people really liked it, but a lot of people weren't so keen on it. But I figured it was a quick read. It's a second-hand copy off eBay, so it was nice and cheap. So yeah, I will give that a try. That's Elevation. And then finally, 3 disturbing books. So You may or may not have seen, so I put up a video a couple of weeks ago, a review of a book called Notice by Heather Lewis, which has very quickly become my most successful video ever. The algorithm clearly is a fan of that video and has been serving it up to lots of different people. So I've got a ton of views out of it and gained a lot of new subscribers as well. So if you're one of those new subscribers, hello, thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the other stuff you see on the channel. Now, I've had a lot of comments on that video. So I said in that video that Notice was the most disturbing book I've ever read, and lots of people have commented with, well, have you read X? So there are 2 more books that haven't yet arrived that I've ordered, so I'll show those in a future video. I have also bought 120 Days of Sodom by the Marquis de Sade, but I've got that on my Kindle rather than a physical copy. But I also got these 3 physical ones which had been recommended, and a couple of these are books I was very much aware of and was kind of thinking of reading anyway. But I think what I'm going to do is try and read at least one disturbing book a month and kind of do a video on it. So anyway, the 3 that I've got here are Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Bright. So been meaning to read this for a long time. So many people I know have read it and raved about it. So yeah, looking forward to that. The Story of the Eye by Georges Bataille, which is a famously disturbing surrealist novel, I believe. Not very long, so I don't know when I'm going to read it, but I will definitely read it at some point. And that is quite a kind of beguiling cover, I suppose. It's a cover that keeps on drawing my eye, despite being quite horrible. And then finally, and this seems to be the one that is most commonly came up as a suggestion as a very, very disturbing book, is The End of Alice by A.M. Holmes, which I don't really know very much about. I think it's kind of literary fiction. This is, I have to say, a nice edition with French flaps and everything. But yes, apparently very, very disturbing, so I will see what I make of that. So it's the next day, but I had 2 more books arrive after I finished filming yesterday. And given that I haven't uploaded the video yet, I thought I would add them in. So the first is one I've been really looking forward to. It is Poking Holes by none other than Juan Valencia. So Juan obviously is the host of the fantastic channel Plagued by Visions, a massive part of the booktube community, the horror community in particular. So really looking forward to reading this, his first short story collection. And then secondly, another one of the disturbing books that was recommended in the comments on my review of Notice. So this one is actually a play, but was recommended by a couple of people. It's The Pillow Man by Michael McDonough, which apparently is, even though it's a play, is very, very readable as a story, and fantastically disturbing as well. So looking forward to this one too. Okay, time for a random book from the shelves. So I plucked this one off the shelves today, Skinhead by Richard Allen, which is, I think, kind of a white British equivalent of Donald Goines' kind of African-American kind of pulpy crime novels. So I read this a little while ago. It's very unpleasant in many ways, including the fact that it's extremely racist. But it is also a grittily enjoyable crime novel about a young tearaway on the streets of London, going around getting into trouble. So yeah, quite an interesting read and a very interesting example of kind of British 70s trash fiction as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know if you've read any of the books I hauled today. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know, particularly the disturbing books, which one you think I should read first. But yeah, as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.